Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin Jon's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Monday, July 30th, 2018. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued a brief statement regarding the death of Brian Christopher. Corrections officers administered CPR until paramedics arrived. Lawler was transported to Regional 1 Medical Center in Memphis, where he died Sunday afternoon. The investigation remains active and ongoing. And on the tragic death of Brian Christopher, many in the wrestling industry are reacting to his death. Jerry Jarrett issued the following statement regarding why Christopher was kept on life support. Jerry Jarrett wrote on Facebook, "I got an early morning call from Sal Anthony Corrente advising about his friend Nikolai passing. I then saw online that Brickhouse had died. The phone then rang and it was Paula Lawler on the line crying. I think she was at the hospital, but she advised they kept Brian alive until Jerry could get there to kiss him goodbye. I can't imagine the emotions of your child dying so prematurely. I've been praying that some way God would comfort Jerry and Kay and Kevin and all of Brian's extended family. Years ago, my dear friend David Sahidi introduced me to the poet Kelly Gibram. His poem about children comforted me this morning, and I hope Brian's family and friends can find something to comfort them in this trying time. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward nor tarries with yesterday. You are the boughs from which your children is living, arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is sable." Tom Pritchard tweeted on Twitter about Brian Christopher, "The first time I worked with Brian Christopher was in Louisville, Kentucky. I told him, nobody wants to work with you. Let's have a great match and show them you can. Trust me, please, I'm not out to bury you." He did, and we had many great matches. He was at times misunderstood. R.I.P. Brian Christopher. Zack Ryder tweeted, "R.I.P. Brian Christopher. I think I had every piece of Too Cool merch in 2000. Dutch Mantel tweeted, "Wow, condolences to my longtime friend Jerry Lawler over the loss of his son Brian. I knew Brian when he was 10 years old running Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. Tough news to hear. The Lawler family has my deepest sympathies." Scotty Riggs tweeted, "Brian and I traveled together 4 to 5 nights a week for 6 months when I wrestled in USWA in '95. We played video games in Louisville after matches, shot hoops in his driveway at 4 a.m. after Evansville. Sad you were so troubled. Thanks for making that time cool, Brian. Damn, this sucks." Melina tweeted, "Such a sad day in the wrestling world. Wrestling is a unique world that sends us on a bit of a crazy roller coaster ride. But as wrestlers, one thing is certain. We give our lives to entertain our fans. When a wrestler passes, I will always remember." Wrestling promoter Dan McDevitt shared the following story on Facebook regarding Brian Christopher. Dan McDevitt said, "I only try to judge people on how they treated me. One of the first times I ever met Grandmaster Sexay Brian Christopher, he worked for me in Paw Paw, West Virginia, a town seemingly in the middle of nowhere. The show absolutely bombed and he was fresh off WWE TV and was at the time very over, just coming off his run as Too Cool. That means his price tag was steep, several $1,000s. He went to the ring and worked as hard in front of 100 people as he would have if there were 3,000 people in the building. I paid him and shook his hand and thanked him. As we were dealing with the end of the show stuff, he walked up and handed me an envelope, and it had over half his money in it. He said to me, 'I have been around this business my whole life. I know you guys lost your ass tonight. Take this back and lessen the blow and make it up to me down the road.' In 25 years in pro wrestling, he is the only star that has ever done that. He had his demons, but that's how I remember him. How he treated me, as a good, kind-hearted dude. may he rest in peace, and hopefully his father Jerry Lawler finds peace as well. Jeff Jarrett also wrote the following on Instagram regarding Brian Christopher. Jeff Jarrett said, "I woke up Sunday morning in London with many texts of the initial report on Brian. And over the next few hours I had the time to reflect on all the years that I've known Brian. Our fathers were business partners for many years, and that's how we initially met. From our first times together in USWA, there were always two things you could count on him to do. One, he was going to make you laugh no matter what was going on. And two, when he stepped in the ring, he was going to let his incredible charisma shine through. His infectious laugh, at times really annoying, his athletic ability, and his knack for making everyone in the match better. For about 3 years I wrestled with or against Brian more than anybody during that time, and I became a better professional wrestler because of it. Over the years, the Brian I and so many more knew became covered up in life. The disease of addiction is real, it's very dark, and it's fatal if left untreated. Brian, love you, and I will miss you, my friend. I pray your soul is finally at peace. R.I.P. Brian Christopher Lawler." And Rikishi wrote the following about his too cool teammate Brian Christopher on Twitter. He posted a photo of himself with Brian in the ring dancing, and wrote underneath the photo, "My oos, Grandmaster Sexay, our last dance together." Brian's living spirit was always his passion for adventure and love for the wrestling business. What I will carry with me most is the Grandmaster's infectious smile and wicked laugh, but most of all, it is his passion to entertain each and every person he ever came in contact with. RILB, hashtag Ultimate Oos GMS, hashtag Love You, hashtag Too Cool, hashtag Respect, hashtag My Rida, hashtag Road Partners. My condolences and respect goes out to Jerry the King Lawler, brother Kevin Lawler, and entire family. I'm sorry for our loss. And I too want to extend prayers and good vibes out to the Lawler family and the friends of Brian Lawler. Of course, yesterday, if you tuned in to my statement on yesterday, losing 3 people, Brickhouse Brown, Nikolai Volkov, and Grandmaster Sexay, Brian played a big part of my childhood because I was a big fan of Too Cool as a kid, and I would try to dance like Grandmaster Sexay, and I used to play as Grandmaster Sexay in SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. And I made him in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth as well. And it's just still hard to believe that happened. So, I want to send my prayers and good vibes out to the Lawler family and the friends of Too Sexy, Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Christopher. PWIinsider.com is reporting that Hulk Hogan has been spotted in Miami, Florida, which is the site of tonight's WWE RAW. It's unknown if Hogan is in the area for WWE obligations or for personal reasons. It was announced on this week's Being the Elite that Rey Mysterio will be teaming up with Phoenix and Bandito against the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi at the All In event on September 1st. And finally, here on Jammin Jon's Wrestling News, the WWE announced the following today. Multi-time champion Ashley Rain, the fast-rising Priscilla Kelly, and the 19-year-old Wonder Kid Zia Brookside are the latest athletes to be confirmed for this year's Mae Young Classic. The 32-woman tournament, which features competitors from around the globe, kicks off on WWE Network later this summer, with the finals taking place at WWE's historic and first all-women's pay-per-view, WWE Evolution, on October 28th. A 13-year ring veteran from Columbus, Ohio, Ashley Rain will not be intimidated by the Classic's world-class field. Fighting far and wide with tours of Japan, the UK, mainland Europe, and the United Arab Emirates under her belt, Rain has crossed paths with the likes of former WWE Women's Champion Mickie James in her past. Her purified finishing move, the Cross Rain, is a vicious rolling cutter that threatens to twist opponents' heads off their shoulders. Making her pro debut a little over 3 years ago, 21-year-old Priscilla Kelly of Moon Creek, Georgia, has already developed an ability to wage wicked mind games inside the ring. Though Kelly is equally capable of out-grappling her foes and staggering them with stomps and strikes, her physical prowess is trumped by her penchant for dominating the psychological struggle. Kelly is known to employ unorthodox tactics, including licking and biting her opponent to gain the edge. And the youngest woman to be announced for the Mae Young Classic so far, 19-year-old Zia Brookside of Leicester, England, enters the competition an already decorated champion, having battled all over the globe while capturing titles and winning tournaments. The spunky up-and-comer, the daughter of United Kingdom legend and WWE Performance Center coach Robbie Brookside, specializes in classic British grappling techniques, but also brings a hard-hitting influence from her experiences competing in Japan. And that is your news for Monday, July 30th, 2018. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin Jon's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices. Big shout out to everybody listening to this on YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stewie Family is the name. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, the Jammin Jon. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin Jon's Wrestling News, or you're a promotion wanting to get your next big event out through the awesome power of Amazon Alexa, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/JamminJon. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/JamminJon. This is Jammin Jon saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.